Good day everyone. This video is our second assessment wherein our group, which is group 6, are asked to discuss team building. And we as the group are assigned to discuss each topics. First, Shine Roldan will discuss what is a team and when to use teams. Next is Lorely Villanovo. She will discuss about how can you select the right team for a project. Next is Gwyneth Marie Rayondanga. She will discuss about what are the usual phases of a team's development. Next is Micaela Vasquez. She will discuss the responsibilities, leader, norms of a team, and team charter, a useful document of team building. And I, Justin R. Senora, will discuss how to sustain team effectiveness, why teams fail, and ways to prevent or avoid. Lastly, Kuya Romnick Quinones and Kuya Neil Dominic Roliano will discuss or give examples and explain some team building games, activities, and ideas. So, this is the learning objectives. First is, define what is team building as one of the outdoor recreational games. Next is, explain what is team, when to use teams, selecting the right team. Third is, explain useful phases of team development and responsibilities of a leader. Next is, explain norms and team charter. Next is, explain ways to sustain team effectiveness. Next is, determine and explain reason why teams fail. Next is, explain facilitators' ways to avoid and minimize groupthink. And lastly, give examples and explain team building games, ideas, activities, and let's proceed on.
Good day everyone, we are group 6. Our topic for today is all about team building. What is a team building? A group of people with different skills and different tasks who work together on a common project, service, or goal with the mission of functions and mutual support. Some teams have unlimited life. For example, a design team developing a new product or a continuous process improvement team organized to solve a particular problem. When to use a teams? The purpose of creating teams is to provide a framework that will increase the ability to employees to participate in planning, problem solving, and decision making to better service customers. Increased participation promotes a better understanding of decisions, more support for in particular and implementation plans, increased contribution to problem solving and decision making, more ownership or decision processes and changes, more ability and willingness to participate in performance, evaluation, and improvement. For teams to fulfill the intended role of improving organizational effectiveness, it is critical that teams develop into working units that are focused on their goal, mission, or reason for existing.
How can you select the right team for a project? Having the right team can make or break a project. 3.1 Team size. Recommend size is a team of 3 to 12 members. A team of 5 to 7 members is the best. Small teams, 3 or 4 members, work faster and tend to produce results quickly, but there is less diversity. Team greater than 7 or 8 members require an expert facilitator and the creations of sub-teams to operate effectively. They have the potential for generating more ideas and be more diverse. 3.2 Overall team compositions belong to the relevant partners, organizations, or organizational units of the project, have different abilities such as technical expertise in skills, administrative skills like problem solving and decision making skills, and interpersonal and communication skills. The team could include people who understand the project very well, such as, for example, those who are already working in cancer control, like public health specialists, Cancer Institute program managers, cancer societies, professional associations, and cancer patients groups. People who are technical experts, such as healthcare provides from oncology service. People who can provide objectivity in the process and outcome like NGO, community leaders, cancer patient self-help groups, and non-health professionals. Suppliers like pharmaceutical department at the ministry and also funding agencies. 3.3 Team members selections and exclusion criteria. You need the best and brightest on your team, but even those people must work well together for the project succeed. When selecting team members, give preference to individuals who are concerned about and committed to the common purpose and goals, like interested in the project, enthusiastic, optimistic, creative, flexible, and open-minded, and also proactive. And good team players like work effectively as the members of a team, respect the values, belief, and opinion of others, relate to and interact effectively with individuals and groups. Well respected among peers and other leaders, can devote time to initiative.
How to begin team building. Three main components in any team's work. Goal. Result-oriented task or content aspect. Example, team goals and objectives. These are usually developed through interaction with team members. So, goal is the main part of doing by the team. Ito rin ay isa sa mas mafofokusan or isang objectives na kung saan kailangan nilang makuha at matapos. Second one is the methodology. Process aspect which includes the team's interaction and how members work together. Example, leadership, team roles, etc. Teams frequently struggle more with process issues than with task issues. Ang methodology naman daw ay isang proseso na kung saan makikita ang paggawa ng mga miyembro sa iisang grupo. Lastly, the resources. It is the time, budget, computer facility, educational tools, and administrative support. Dito rin makikita ang ang kanilang mga kagamitan or mga mga facility na kanilang kinakailangan. There are 6 key steps to build an effective team. Define the purpose, assemble the team, determine the goals, set expectations, monitor and review, celebrate and reward. Define the purpose. Clearly define the purpose of the team, including the overall outcome it has been brought together to achieve. What do you want to create, improve, or change? What is the purpose of each person's role in the team? Providing a clear, inspiring vision sets the foundation for successful teamwork and helps guide the direction of the group when they face challenges and decisions. So dito sa define the purpose, kailangan lahat ng miyembro ay makikita kung ano nga ba talaga mismo ang kanilang purpose and also what are the purpose of their doing these projects. Second one is assemble the team. High-performance teams are comprised of individuals that passionately embrace the vision, believe their contribution is meaningful, and are motivated to give the best effort. All team members should trust, respect, and support each other. Select members with
complementary skills and abilities, who can bring a diverse range of viewpoints and ideas to the table. Achieving a good balance of personality types will enable the group to work together harmoniously but also challenge each other when necessary. Dito naman is as an individual, they need a passionately embrace what are the vision and mission of the team and the project. They need also the trust and respect and also the support from each other to must build and to must work it together. The third is determine the goals. Once the team is established and united behind the shared, compelling purpose, the next step is to break the vision down into smaller, manageable goals and tasks. Outline the required tasks in a schedule with agreed deadlines, milestones, and responsibilities. Decide the role that each team member will play. Be sure to also consider other resources required in terms of time, materials, space, support, and money. The fourth one is set expectations to ensure that each member understands what is expected of them. Define a standard of conduct for the team. Will communication be frequent, open, honest, and transparent? Will contribution be encouraged, valued, and recognized? Will conflict be handled in a constructive way? Will team decisions and feedback be respected? Setting clear standards from the outset will ensure that each member's conduct and contribution are appropriate. The fifth one, monitor and review. Regularly review the group's performance through team meetings and one-on-one catch-ups to ensure that progress is being made. Good question to ask are, how are we doing? What have we achieved so far? What have we learned? What isn't working so well? How can we improve? Monitoring and reviewing progress allows for adjustment and improvements to be incorporated along the way. And lastly, celebrate and reward. Make the time to regularly recognize, reward, and celebrate both team and individual performance. This will help to build morale and bolster the motivation of the group to continue their hard work. Find the most appropriate way to celebrate team milestones such as personal thank you at a team meeting, an email copied to senior managers, or a team lunch. Ensure that recognition is consistent and that the method you choose inspires and reinforces the team members to continue their positive contribution to the team's progress. Responsibilities of team leader. The first one, assign clear tasks to each member. Second, regularly review and monitor progress of work. The third one, ensure the team meets deadlines. Fourth, discuss and agree on the timetable for major activities with the team. Fifth, motivate team members. Sixth, resolve conflicts. Seventh, give guidance when needed. Eighth, helps members to overcome barriers. And ninth, regularly assess team performance using a checklist.
Norms of a team. Norms are acceptable standards of behaviors within a group that are shared by group's members. They tell members what they should or should not to do depending on their circumstances. In the work environment, the most important norms deal with a performance-related process. Example of norms in listening. Allow one person to speak at a time and avoid side conversation. Don't interrupt when a person is talking unless he or she is diverting from the issue being discussed. Seek first to understand others before you seek to be understood. Respect the views of all participants. Example of norms in talking. Everyone participates. Each person speaks on his or her own behalf and lets others speak for themselves. Each person takes responsibility for his or her action and results. Speak openly and honestly. Call out a time if you need one. If you don't understand something, ask for clarification. If you see a problem that others haven't noticed, bring it to someone's attention. Clear communication of accountabilities for all work team members. Example of norms in meetings. Have clear objectives. Meeting must have an agenda. Meeting information needs to be circulated to everyone prior to the meeting. Use the meeting time and keep the discussion focused on the meeting's objectives. Start and end meeting on time. Use technological tools such as television or video conferencing to facilitate the meeting. So, team charter. A team charter, a useful document for a team building. A team charter is a written document that defines the team missions, objectives, scope of operation, time frame, and consequences. The purpose of team charter. The purpose statement explains why the team is being formed. The purpose statement should align with and support the organization vision and mission statements. The scope of the team's charter is to define organizational or operational boundaries within which the team is expected and allowed to operate. It includes information about the resources available to the team to accomplish each objective. It also speaks about the time commitment expected of the team members, giving due attention to support required in their place of work and performing their day-to-day responsibility during this assignment. A section describing top management support and commitment to the team.
Good day, everyone. I'm Justin Arsenio Rabied 2A. I'm here to discuss team building, and under team building, there are three topics that I will discuss on. First is how to sustain team effectiveness. Second, why team fail. Third is how that group think can be avoided or minimized. How to sustain team effectiveness. Team effectiveness means the degree to which the team achieves the expected end result or results of the teamwork in the available time period. In this process, if the team building is scheduled for 1 week or 1 month span, the main goal or the main reasons why conducting team building is achieved or attained, or before, while, during, and after the team building experience. The following aspects are the most relevant to maintain short-term team effectiveness. First, clearly stated and commonly held vision and goals. So, ito ay gampanin or mas inaasahan sa leader, or mas mabuti kung lahat ito ay alam ng lahat. Alam kung bakit isinagawa ang team building, ano ang gampanin, ano ang inaasahang resulta ng team building. Team goals are developed through a group process or team interaction and agreement in which each team member is willing to work towards achieving these goals. So, you will work as a team, not alone or individually, but cooperatively or collaborative with your Next is role clarity, particularly at the beginning. So, before starting team building, dapat alam nyo na yung bawat expected na gampanin ng bawat isa. Kung si one ay para sa facilitator or siya yung leader, o kung si Maria naman ay isang tagapagsulat ng mga charter, at ang isa naman ay tagapagpaalala ng mga rules and regulation or the norms, at yung mga iba ay tagapag-edit or mga taga-video. So yun yung clarity na dapat mga gampanin na dapat isalang-alang o dapat matandaan upang ma-sustain ang team effectiveness habang isinasagawa ang team building. Next is leadership. Is distributed and shared among team members and individuals willingly to contribute their resources as needed. So bilang leader, hindi ka bias, hindi ka lang sa iilan pipili ng sinong papakinggan mo ng idea, kundi lahat mo sila papakinggan at bibigyan ng panahon magsalita at mag-share ng ideas. Para sila ay willingly participate and give their best while conducting with team building activities. Next is team norms are defined. So this happen before, while, and during and after the team building. So for example, meeting, how the appropriate time, talking, and listening and approaching the facilitator and one another. That's the norm or the rules and regulation while, during, before, while, during, and after the team building activity. Next is workload sharing during team's lifespan to facilitate the accomplishment of the tasks and buildings of togetherness. So, for example, may nahihirapan na ka-teammates nyo or team member, dapat mag-share hand kayo. Ibig sabihin, tutulungan nyo siya pag nahihirapan. Kung hindi niya na kayang ma-handle yung ganitong task na binigay sa kanya, ay huwag kang mag-hesitate na tulungan ito upang siya ay makaramdam ng hindi siya naiba o hindi siya iba. Andun yung togetherness nyo. Next is team decision making involves a process that encourages active participation by all members during team's lifespan. It helps to build commitment. So, hindi lang isa o hindi lang leader ang mag-manipulate or magawa ng mga desisyon. Kailangang lahat ng membro ay gagawa o tutulong upang magkaroon ng iisang desisyon. Para pag siya'y napakinggan, alam niya na open siya palagi mag-share ng ideas niya for help to the team being successful with sustaining effectiveness. Next is problem solving, discussing team issues, assessing team effectiveness are encouraged by all team members. So, habang nasa team building pa lamang at kaya pang resolbahan ang conflict, problems, or interpersonal issues, dapat na ito at naresolbahan na agad. Next is, team leaders has good interpersonal skills and is committed to team approach. Each team member is willing to contribute. So, as a leader, hindi ka dapat boss. Dapat, kung ikaw yung leader, handa kang makinig sa mga idea, share thoughts, and feedback mula sa iyong members. Kung ano yung nakikita nilang mali sa pamamalakad mo, ay dapat matuto kang magpakumbaba at bigyan mo ng diplomatic manner yung pakikipag-usap sa kanila. Hindi porket ikaw yung leader, ikaw na palaging mas mataas yung boses, hindi dapat ganoon. Hindi palaging ikaw yung nasa tama. Matuto ka rin bumaba at pakinggan mo yung emosyon nila o yung nararamdaman din nila. Para sila bilang team member, alam nila at kung paano sila makikipag-ugnay at paano sila kukontribute ng kanilang resources. as soon as possible. Their help or resources are needed. Next is performance monitoring. The team members need to monitor each other task execution and give feedback during task execution. So, for example, si facilitator, dapat as a leader, na-assess niya yung sarili niya kung talagang nagagampanan niyo yung gampanin niya, yung role clarity na nakaatang sa kanya. O kung si Miss Charter, yung si Maria, naisulat niya ba yung mga mission, yung mga documents, yung mga scope limitation na gagawin habang nagkakandak ng team building. So, para malaman kung mas nagiging better ba or hindi para masustain yung effectiveness ng isang team. Feedback is freely given as a way of evaluating the team's performance and clarifying both feelings and interests of the team members. So, hindi lang si facilitator or leader ang magbibigay ng feedback. Pwedeng each member feedback sa bawat isa. Baga, open-minded na pagbibigay ng feedback. Kung mali si Juan sa ganitong paraan, itatama ni Maria. At dapat si Maria as binigyan ng isang feedback, dapat isipin na kung at isagawa yung dapat na solusyon dun sa gawa niya. Next is team self-correction. Is the process in which members engage in evaluating their performance and in determining their strategies after task execution. So, yun nga, may mali nga sa kinorek na siya ng sarili niya or ng ka-team member niya is open siya for renewal for correction and exchange of work. So, for example, mali yung nabili sa isang task. So, he admits that he or she fails to buy the appropriate thing is needed to the team working activity. So, aminado siya na mali siya at willing siya na itama yung mali niya. Hindi yung porque mali siya ay ida-down mo siya. Dapat mamulit siya na ay nagkamali ako, dapat ayusin ko to. Next is the social environment is open and supportive with focus on learning. So, dito rin yung papasok yung dapat as a member or group or teamwork, dapat maging bukas at maging motivated ang bawat isa sa karunungan. Hindi porket mali siya ay yun na lang i-intak mo sa isip niya. Hindi. Dapat kung mali siya, dapat i-correct natin ang bawat isa at i-motivate na gumawa ng makakabuti sa team building activities. Next is first resources. Talents, skills, knowledge are fully identified, recognized, and used whenever appropriate. So, pag may isang team building activity na pagluluto or dance, singing, or any particular talent na kailangang i-show out or mag-stand out, dapat hindi ang bawat member ay hindi dapat ma-shy or itago ito, kundi dapat itong kuminang at mailabas. Next is a variety of educational tools including expert in the field should be readily available to assist the team in problem solving. So, if someone is already experienced team building, so he or she must share his own already know or experience while in team building activity. Or if there's educational tools, for example, how will the team will be guided for better execution of team building, it should be provided and demonstrated as soon as the team building is done. Reward is given in a manner that promotes team cohesiveness. So, dapat ang reward magsisilbi siya for motivation, not for expiration. means that pag binigyan mo ang isang grupo or team member ng isang reward, hindi dapat magsiselo si another person, kundi dapat magsilbi itong motivation sa isang tao na kung hindi siya nabigyan ay dapat maging sa kanya, maging burning fire na ayusin or mas mag-excel pa sa mga task para siya naman ang mabigyan ng reward. Then, isa rin sa paraan para sa pagbigay ng reward ay in good ways. For example, smiling on and give some credits on who the one who give his or her best in executing the given task. Next is, we will proceed to opposite of team effectiveness is why teams fail. So, some teams fail from beginning and some deteriorate over time. So, minsan, simula pa lang o habang during the teamwork, team building activities is fail or hindi nagiging successful or effective ang ginawang team building activity. Given below are the most relevant external and internal barriers to team success. This may help to identify the development and support needs of members that may impact on the success of teams. First is external barriers to teamwork. So, this is outside of the teamwork that may affect or the reason why teams fail. Workload. Members are often required to work on their team assignments in addition to a workload or are given more work than they are capable of handling. So, for example, dapat may isang member na dapat lahat ay makikipag-cooperate pero yung isa hindi siya nagko-cooperate. Hindi siya nag-share resources sa team building. Or may isang person or a member na kumuha nung mga task pero hindi niya naman kayang i-handle. Kaya isa yun sa rason kung bakit ang team ay nagpe-fail. Next is, team does not model the norms or behaviors that support teams in being successful. So, yung pakikinig, yung on-time meeting, yung team yung oras ng pag-meeting at approaching one another is hindi nasusunod, hindi na-demonstrate ng maayos. Next is inadequate recognition for individual team members. So, hindi nakikredit yung efforts na binibigay ng bawat isa na isasantabi yung kung paano na-execute ng best person yung isang bagay. Kaya siguro siya, hindi naman ako pinapansin, hindi naman nila napipil yung efforts ko. So, ganyan, kadalasan tuloy tinatamad, nawawala ng gana. So, isa rin yan sa dahilan kung bakit yung isang team ay nagpipil. Kasi, nakikredits or hindi na-recognize yung kanyang efforts. This. Next is, team leaders do not control or release the team members adequately. So, dito, hindi na makontrol o hindi na sumusunod sa leader yung member niya. Kapag ganito yung sinabi ni leader, is iba na yung ginagawa ng member. Opposite na dun sa given task or napagawa. Next is, teams are not given adequate resources. Wala or kulang yung ibinigay na sources, hindi sapat para magampanan ni member o ng mismong team ang gampanin. Next is, frequent changes in team membership. So dito, kapag hindi nagkakagusto-gusto or hindi nagkakasang-ayon sa isang gawain, nagkakaroon ng pagpapalit ng mga kagrupo. Kaya yung resulta, pwedeng mag-fail ang isang team building. Next is, the members resist taking responsibility for tasks expected of them. So, halimbawa, may isang member na nire-neglect niya lang yung given task sa kanya. Ayaw niyang akuin, nire-reject niya lang. Ayaw niyang gawin as a gampanin. Kaya, it will affect the whole team as well. So, maaari yung maging reason kaya mag-fail ang isang team building. Next is, team charter is not written. So, dito, maybe may nakasulat nga pero hindi naman talaga fully detailed. Kumbaga, may mga kulang pa sa team charter, yung mga norms, yung mga documents na kinakailangan. May mga kulang pa na mag-guide sa team building execution. Next is internal barriers to teamwork. Ito yung execution na mismo sa team building. Next is inadequate support from key external stakeholders. So, halimbawa, isa naman ito is yung halimbawa, yung pupuntahan nyo is yung mayong bulkan sa Albay, pero dito pa lang sa may San Isidro is restricted na kayo o hindi kayo pinayagan ng or na travel ban kayo. So, yan pa lang, isa na yan sa external stakeholders. Hindi walang support, hindi kayo pinayagan. Next is team members don't set appropriate goals for the team and do not implement a plan reaching for them. So, may plano nga, may destination ng team building, pero walang continuous plan or action demonstrating that one. So, hindi nagsiset ng tamang oras sa time ng meeting, hindi nagsiset ng approachable team facilitating. So, yun pa lang, kukulang na, kaya magpe-fail. Hindi sapat yung pagsasagawa o pagpapalakad ng isang plano. Next is, team members don't spend enough time planning how they will work together. So, tumutulong nga, nakikipag-cooperate, pero gusto lang individually, solo lang siya. Ayaw nila maging grupo o ayaw nila ng collaborative. So, isa rin yun sa maaaring cause ng pag-fail. Next is, team members don't resolve interpersonal conflicts. So, yung hidwaan, yung sigalot, o yung misunderstanding ay nadadala hanggang sa matapos ang team building. Kaya, ito hindi nasusolusyonan agad. Next is, team members don't conduct efficient meetings. So, halimbawa, may meeting nga, and yung schedule is one times a week. So, 1 times a week na lang nga, hindi pa nag-meet or hindi pa nag-attend. So, dun pa lang, isa na yun sa magkakos ng pag-fail. Next is, team members don't have compatible levels of problem solving, analytic, or project management skills. So, dito, hindi bantay-pantay o hindi nagkakasundo or hindi parehas yung kakayahan ng bawat miyembro o ng mga magkaka-members. So, hindi sila magkakasundo. Kaya kadalasan nagiging sanhi nito o ang bunga na nito ay pagkaka-conflict or hindi sila nagkakasundo sa mga gampanin. Hindi sila nagkakaroon ng maayos na solusyon sa hidwaan o sa isang problema. Iba-iba yung pakakaunawa nila sa isang bagay. Hindi sila parehas ng pagmaniobra o pag-aayos ng mga gampanin. Kaya, minsan, isa rin ito sa factor na reason kung bakit mag-fail yung isang team building. Next is, team members don't know how to influence the work of other members. So, dito, kung baga, may maling nagawa, may maling nagawa yung isang ka-members, yung nakakita or naka-find out nito ay hindi niya alam kung paano tulungan. O, alam niya ng mali, ginutungan niya pa ng bad motivation, ginaw niya pa. Kaya isa rin yun sa conflict or magpe-fail ang isang team building activity or yung mismong team building. Lack of consistent or clear team leadership. So, yung designated leader is hindi siya consistent. Kumbaga, hindi appropriate or hindi na-excel yung monitoring sa kanya. Or, maybe, kapag hindi na siya nakakapag-ayos na leader, may ibang nagpipresenta na leader. So, andyan na yung mga pasok yung group think. Mamaya, i-discuss yung group think. Isa rin yan sa factor ng group think. So, next is inability to make decision effectively as a group. So, dito, halimbawa, si leader na lang pala ang nag-decision kung anong mga susunod na hakbang o gagawin habang team building, or iilan, walang ganong tumulong, hindi nag-share ng ideas, walang commitment sa team building. Kaya isa yan sa reason why magpe-fail ang isang team building. Next is group think. Some teams are at risk of becoming dysfunctional as a result of group think. Tama naman na, group think naman. Napapaisip ka kung bakit yung group think ay isa sa mga factor why in team buildings, teams are failing or failed. So, here's the reason. It is a process by which a group can make a bad or irrational decisions. In a group think situation, each member of the group attempts to conform his or her opinions to what they believe to be consensus of the group. So, dito, kung hindi ikaw yung leader at gusto mong pakinggan ka, it is your free will and karapatan. Pero, ikaw na yung gustong masunod, hindi na majority, gusto mo minority na lang, or 2 or 3 person na lang, or yung iba, hindi na leader. Kumbaga, hindi na unified yung isang decision making. Kaya, masasabi, group think yun. Isa yung siya team reason kung bakit ang isang team ay magpipilis sa isang team building. Kasi hindi na isahan o hindi na unified ang decision process, or hindi na buronyog o hindi na nagkakasundo sa isang gampanin o isang gagawin. Iba-iba ng ideya yung pumapasok or nagmamanipulate sa susunod na gampanin. Next is the 7 symptoms of decision affected by group think are. So, ito na yung mga pinag-uugatan ng group think. First, incomplete survey of alternatives. So, dahil hindi nga maayos o kulang ang nasiyasat na survey sa mga emergency plan, contingency plan, or mga documents, nagkakaiba-iba yung ideya sa pagbibigay ng solusyon sa isang problema. Pag hindi nagustuhan ni ganito yung gagawing solusyon o contradict na naman yung isa, magkakaroon ng iba't ibang suggestive na solution. Pero pag hindi mo ito Pag hindi mo naman ito pinagbigyan, maaari rin ito maging reason ng pag-fail sa or team building. Next is incomplete survey of objectives. So, yung isa, ini-expect niya makakapunta siya ng daroanak, yung mismong bilog, pero yung nakalagay lang sa mission objectives o yung charter is hanggang doon lang kayo sa pitch, pero sabihin na natin pwede na sa water, pero wala doon sa mismong bukol or yung mismong daroanak na landscape or yung mismong landmark niya na yun, yung inakyat or sa hagdan, doon pa lang, hindi na siya clear. So, maybe, magtatampo yun or reasons, magiging reason siya para hindi masunod yun or mag-fail yung isang team building activities. Next is, failure to examine risk of prepared choice. So, example, yun na nga, halimbawa, nagpresenta pa din siyang pumunta sa Doraanak ng bukol ng o yung mismong landmark ng Doraanak, pero restricted pala doon, di niya alam na may ahas pala doon or nagkaroon ng crossfire is yun, wala yun sa plano pero pumunta rin siya, is still risk na yun. Kaya hindi niya yun naisipan at hindi sila ready doon sa ganong emergency or ganong pangyari. Isa rin yun sa magiging group think. Hindi nila yun na solusyonan. Kaya maaaring magkaroon ng iba't ibang suggestive na solution. Kaya magiging group think ito. Next is failure to reappraise initially rejected alternative. So, hindi maayos ang pag-appeal ng pag-reject ng isang alternative. Kaya minsan nami-misinterpret nung na-reject na akala niya yung suggested na alternative niya is useless, hindi dapat gawin, or kaya nagtatampo siya. Pero kaya hindi nagiging sustainable yung communication ng bawat isa. Maybe doon pa lang mag-cause na yun ng hidwaan or pagtatampo ng isang member doon sa pag-reject sa kanyang suggested na alternative. For information research. So, ito, maaring sa simula pa lang talaga is, halimbawa, yung kay Mokauson, may nakaalam na sabi daw sa Naga daw yung mayon. Pero, yung balak nyo talaga dapat, pupunta kayo sa Legazpi Alabay, sa may Kagsawa Ruin. Pero, nakapunta kayo sa Naga. Yun pa lang is, mali na yon. Poor information research na yon. Hindi reliable yung napagkunan nyo. Kaya yung team building nyo is fail sa group think na yan. Next is selective bias in processing information at hand. So, ibig sabihin, hindi marami or hindi maayos na napili. Kung piling tao lang or proseso, informasyon lang yung nakalap. Kung nakikinig lang yung leader sa isang tao, dalawa, hindi niya napapakinggan yung other group mates or group team niya. Next is failure to work out contingency plan. So, yung mga hindi na de-demonstrate yung alternative pag may nagkamali or may isang event na hindi inasahan. So, yun, nagiging worse tuloy yung kanilang teamwork or team building. Kasi, nagkakaiba-iba na yung contingency plan. Si ganito, gusto niya yung solusyon dito maging ganito na yung kaya hindi na nagiging iba-iba na yung solusyon, kaya nagkakawatak-watak na yung hindi na sila solid yung support sa isang solution. Next is, groupthink can happen in any team in their day-to-day work. So, yung pagkakaiba-iba or pagkakaroon ng consensus na idea na willingness ay maaari yung mangyari sa araw-araw na trabaho or sa mismong team building niya. It emerges when views of one or two minority dominate the discussion. So yun na nga, siya na yung nagdi-dictate. Hindi naman siya yung leader, pero siya yung gusto lang mag-dictate ng building. The team leader should be aware of this and avoid this. This phenomenon has a potential to affect the group's ability to objectively appraise the issues being discussed. Hence, bias the group decisions and conclusions. Yun na nga. So, as a leader, kung sino man yung nataasan na leader, dapat aware siya na masolusyonan o hindi ito gani sa team building or sa o kahit saan na magkasama ang kanyang team. Next is, how the group think can be avoided or minimized. Ito naman yung remedy para maiwasan natin yung group think sa team building. The facilitator should make sure that the following are taken of during their team discussion and decision making process. First is, keep the group size small. So, dapat bilang leader or facilitator, dapat ang group size lang ay suggested ay 6 to 10. Kasi kung higit na sa ganyang numero ay crowded na siya at hindi na talaga magkakaunawaan ng maayos. Next is, politely and diplomatically discourage domination by a few individuals who may be more vocal and articulate in the group. So, kung as a leader, ikaw yung magpapasimuno ng maayos na pamamalakad at maayos na pagkikipag-usap. So, sa paraang marahan lang at kung may makulit na gustong yun na nga, cause ng groupthink na gusto niyang siya sa kanyang masusunod, dapat sa marang paraan niya sasabihin na sandali lang, hingin muna natin yung idea or suggest ng iba. Hindi lang ikaw dapat ang magsasalita. Ito ay group. Hindi naman siya di-discourage magsalita. Hindi rin siya mag-feel ng masama. So, dapat in a good way pa rin. Next is, everyone gets an opportunity to express his or her views independently and freely without intimidation or hesitation. So, dapat lahat, kahit hindi mo siya kasundo, papagsalitain mo pa rin siya kasi malay mo yung salita niya or yung suggestion niya is yun yung pinaka-remedy dun sa problem. Then, once na ma-feel niya na open siya para open kayo makinig para sa kanyang ideya is always na siya magpa-participate and yung commitment niya sa team building is ando na. Hindi na siya mahihiya magsalita and willingness na siya mag-participate. Next is, encourage participants to challenge the views of the others in the group. So, dito, mas tinataas na yung expectation or yung kung paano i-execute yung gampanin. Next is, bring the discussion to conclusion only towards the end of the discussion on a particular issue, only after everyone in the group has expressed her opinion. So, dito, kung ano lang yung tinutukoy o pinag-uusapan, dapat direct on the point na hindi yung paligoy-ligoy mo sasabihan. Dapat on point na para hindi naman masyadong humaba at mas madaling unawaan ng mga members ang ibig mo sabihin at ang mangyayari at susunod na magagampanin for appropriate and sustainable team building effect. That's all. Thank you for listening and watching.
15 team buildings, games, activities, and ideas. Number 1. The games of the possibilities. Time is 5 to 6 minutes. To stimulate conversation, ideas, and laughter. Participants. Small groups. This can be done with one groups or multiple groups at the same time. Materials needed, cloth, napkins. Instructions. Give a napkin to each group of 5 to 10 participants. One person at a time stands and demonstrates a use of that napkins. Rules. Person demonstrating cannot speak. Most stand while demonstrating. Demonstration must be original. Participants experience that infinity ways to use a napkin and translate them to the infinite ways to solve problems. Use resource, motivate a team, etc. Number 2 is drop the ball. Time 10 to 12 minutes. Purpose, cooperation and healthy competition. Participants, small groups, materials needed. Golf balls, straws, tapes. Instructions. Each small groups receive 12 straws and 18 inches of the making tape. They get 10 minutes to build a container that will catch a golf ball dropped from about 10 feet. Each group selects a ball drop. That person stands on a chair, holds a golf ball at eye level. That group places its container on the floor under where it thinks that ball will land. Each group gets 3 attempts. That group that gets all the ball to go in a stay its contained wins. Desired outcomes. Team can be used their experience in the game to overcome works, problems, and relational issues. Number 3 is loser. Winner and loser. 5 to 6 minutes. Purpose negative to positive perspective. Participants, partners. Materials, no one. None. Instructions, one partner tells the other partners about something bad that happens to them. This can be personal or work relate that can be occurred recently or years ago, but it must be something that is over. They can take about 2 minutes to do this. The same partner then tells the same story, but this time relates the good things that comes from this experience. The listening partner can help them explore the good that come from the bad. Desired outcomes. Participants experience a way to let go of negative attitude and emotional baggage. Number 4 is 10 ways to kill a new ideas. 2 to 3 minutes. Purpose, keep meetings positive. Participants all. Materials needed. Poster paper, markers, instructions. A list of negative phrases and words is posted in the meeting room during meetings. Anyone who use any of the idea killer phrases must put a quarter in the nega jar. When enough money is collected, it can be used to buy the team lunch. Desired outcomes. Team members learn to offer suggestions in positive ways. Number 5. Mission statement time 15 to several hours. Purpose, creating focus, passion, and group buy-in. Participants all. Materials needed, pens, paper, and any team requested. Instruction, each person finish the sentence, may vision of a team that works here. The entire team now create one statement or visual that Present the total of these visual statements. Desired outcomes. The team find commonality of purpose and is more willing to cooperate. Number 6, lifeboat game. Time and hour. Purpose, discover how emotions affects the success of our negotiations. Participants, one of the several small groups. Materials needed, list of 5 people in a yacht. yacht. Instruction, give the team or team a list of the people who are on a yacht. Tell them that the yacht develop a leak and sink fast. There is only one lifeboat and it will accommodate only 9 people. None one more can fit and there are no more lifeboat or life jackets. The group must then come to an agreement as to which of the 15 people get to go in the lifeboat and be saved. However, they must also list those day 7 saved in order to important because use if they have to be dumped overboard. Of course, this is often the more difficult job. The key for this game is to make 15 people on the list as controversial as possible.
Good day, ma'am. I am Neil Dominic Di Roliano, B.Ed student, third year irregular. To continue the report of Dominic Quinones. Recall game. The game displayed a list of words to remember during few seconds. Then when the word disappear, you have to fill in the field with the words that you can remember, regardless of the order. The purpose of the game is to remember as many words as possible. Cartoon characters are meant to be larger than life, with detailed traits that are exaggerated and dramatic. For instance, if your character is bookish and shy, then maybe their eyes and are sunken and are always looking down. Exaggerated details can illustrate your character traits without saying them out loud. Theater of excellence. They help to break down stereotypes, generate empathy, and stimulate cooperation, reasoning, and the ability to be critical. Focusing on teamwork in every class reinforcement, the skill is particular among others. Relate to people. Learning to relate to others or developing social cognition has become one of the more important goals for our school children. Relating to others and making and keeping friends can be as difficult to master and as important as any subject area in school. In fact, students who have difficulty with social cognitive skills may require the greatest amount of nurturing and protection from humiliation. Airplane Copper. The crossword clue Airplane Copper with 5 letters has last seen on the January 1, 1944. We think the likely answer to this clue is stunt. Below are all possible answers to this clue is ordered by its rank. You can easily improve your search by specifically the number of letters in the answer. Animal game. Many young children are fascinated with animals, so if you have kids who are fond of animals, it makes things fun for them if you were to incorporate some animal games and activities into their daily lives. Not only will this be something that makes them more fun, but also be maybe learning opportunities that can arise from them. Hit the mark. Hit the mark is more often used from achieving a goal or providing a very sustainable solution. And last is push push. Basically, objects move through force. All forces are either push or pull. When force moves any object away from something, that is a push. When force brings an object closer, that is a pull.